Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new Elder Scrolls Online video with me, Sherman. Today we're going to be talking about Morrowind and how it is, I guess you could say. I mean, I don't know what else to say. We're going to be talking about Morrowind's content, its story, its land, its pretty much everything that comes with the expansion, including the Warden class to some degree. We're also going to be talking about the Halls of Fabrication trial, the public dungeons, the delves, and the battlegrounds. So to start off, let's talk a little bit about the Morrowind content itself. That means the island landmass and what it brings to the Elder Scrolls Online universe. For anyone that's a nostalgic fan of Elder Scrolls, this will bring back a lot of memories from this tiny town of Seydanine that I'm standing outside of right now to the bustling streets of Vivec. Also the city of Balmora, Sadrith Mora, Nisus, Saran, you name it, all those places are here, and we get to explore them. Along with many of the things that we got to explore in the original Morrowind game. The story is set 700 years prior to that. I believe it's 700 years. Prior to the original Elder Scrolls release. It could be a lot longer. And Vivec's power is waning, and you are here. You are sent here to help find out what's causing this draw on his power, and why he needs our help. We are considered outsiders. No matter what you play, you are an outsider to this land. You are not born here. You are not raised here. So you have to play through the storyline as an outsider. And you get to meet a lot of really interesting people and characters. And the stories are really in-depth for each major storyline. And there is several major storylines. There's the main storyline, and then there's several major side storylines, along with some minor side quests. And each of them has great storytelling. In fact, I have to say this. I hate to say this, but I have to. Besides Orsinium, this has some of the best storyline in it. The only other place that remotely comes close to this in Orsinium storyline was Craglorn. Even the main storylines were good, but they weren't this good. And that's why I have to kind of praise them on this, is because they did a really good job on the storyline of Morrowind. Now, Morrowind is a chapter. It is not an expansion. So this means it is a new chapter in our character's story. And it brings us to Morrowind, and we play through, of course, finding out what's going on with Vivec, finding out what's going on in Balmora, Sadrith Mora with the Delvani, and then, of course, in Aldrune with the Ashlanders. And then it takes you into several other places in the game where it tells different side stories, like I said. And all these things all correlate to each other in a certain way. So it's a really... Like I said, it's really in-depth, it's really good written, well written and played out story. I'm not going to do a whole lot of running around, and the reason why is because, spoilers. Sorry, you're not getting any. The other thing about the content itself is the new delves and world bosses. We got 6 new delves and 6 world bosses. Each of the world bosses is unique and different. And they bring new mechanics that we have not seen in a lot of world bosses. And I think that's something that the game really needed, is some unique world bosses, and especially fun to battle world bosses. On top of that, we got, like I said, 2 new public dungeons. Both public dungeons have their own stories to them. One is a Dwemer public dungeon. The other one is called the Lost Waste, which is not the Lost Waste. But it has to do with an old house of dark elves that vanished and disappeared, and you get to go kind of explore it and learn why it disappeared. And it's pretty cool. It's got another interesting story to it. Each of the delves, the 6 delves, are also really, really cool, because they're not like the delves of what we played through in the past, where it was just a simple cave exploration or a mine. These things have depth to them. Some of them even have stories pertaining to them. And I think that is another thing that this game really needs, is more emphasis on things like delves, public dungeons, more just jump in and play things, and not necessarily just group activities like we've always had, with the end game, if you will. I think that that this was a great release, and will hopefully continue with more great releases to come in the future. I don't know, because I don't live in the future. If I did, that'd be great. The expansion or chapter also brought with it the Warden class. Now, the Warden class is a very unique and different class to all the others because it's the way it's laid out. Now, I am not on a Warden. I'm actually on my Nightblade. And I didn't want to be on my Warden because I've been on the Warden for so much lately. I wanted to bring my Nightblade over here and start questing through Vardenfell, doing the main storyline. This is where this character originated. Originally, back when Morrowind was released, I created this same character in the game and played him through Morrowind, and then on to Oblivion, and then on to Skyrim. I used the same character pretty much, so, which was an Argonian Dark Brotherhood character. In Morrowind, he wasn't part of the Dark Brotherhood until they released that content. He was actually part of the Morotong, and yeah, that was his story. So, but yeah, lots of really cool stuff. The Warden, though, getting back to it, the Warden class itself is unique, like I said. It has 3 distinct paths that each play differently if you want to focus into a certain build type. Like if you wanted to go with DPS, you would go down the Animal Companion tree. And it has a lot of the skills in there are both Magicka and Stamina based. So you can build into a Stamina build or a Magicka build, and it's really kind of cool. Then you have the Nature's something or other. It's a healing path. And it's really a cool one because it does create, give you the ability to create more of a druid healer or a nature healer. And it's something, again, the game needed, was something to separate the healing roles. Or to separate this class from others in the healing role. The class is really simple to understand, and then we have Winter's Embrace. Sorry, I kind of started to sidetrack there. We have Winter's Embrace path. The Winter's Embrace is more of an offensive, tanky path, with the ability to go with an ice damage build too, but you have to really get in and tinker with it to get it to work properly. And I do have an ice build I'm going to be working on and bringing forward to you guys so you guys can see it. I do have other builds for the Warden that I do plan on making. I just released Nature's Guardian, which is a hybrid small group play and solo play build. And then I have another build coming out next week for the Warden, along with 2 more the following week. So, lots of Warden builds coming. But yeah, the Warden's a really fun class, I won't lie. It's probably one of my favorites so far, and the fact of the lore on it and how it works, it really reminds me of something of a cross between a bard, a druid, and a ranger all mixed together, and it's really cool. Next up we have the Halls of Fabrication. One of the most interesting trials I've seen added to this game, because of its mechanics, are very different. A lot of people say that it has similarities to other trials. It does, but what doesn't? In any game, what raid, what dungeons don't resemble another dungeon in some kind of way? But the story in it is fantastic. The design of it was incredible because like you said, there's a lot of things in this chapter that we haven't seen done before. We haven't seen blade traps. We've seen spike traps, and we've seen fire traps, and we've seen, steam traps and electric traps, but we haven't seen the kind of traps they've added with this. And the Halls of Fabrication plays on some of that, and it also has a lot of poison damage. It's just really cool. I'm really excited to be able. I'm going to be really excited to go back and play through that again now that it's live, because I only played it on test. So I can't really say what the difference is between test and live. I don't think there's going to be much. But the Halls of Fabrication is definitely one to check out. They added with it another cool thing, which is battlegrounds. They added 3 different types of battlegrounds in 3 different locations around the map of Morrowind. And with those came 3 different game types: Domination, Deathmatch, and Capture the Flag. Which is normal to a small group or a small battle arena type setup game. A lot of first-person shooters have been using these game modes for a long time, and even some MOBAs have these kind of game modes, which is really cool. Domination is kind of like a capture and score thing. The Capture the Flag is exactly what it sounds like. You go and capture flags at different points in the maps and bring them back to your base or your place. And then you have Deathmatch, which is just all-out deathmatch, and it's really, all 3 game modes, like I said, are really fun. I played all 3 of them, and I honestly like Domination the best. I don't know why. I wish they had that option in the game where you could pick the game mode you wanted to play, but I think it would create a lot of people just picking one game mode and not playing the others. So I think that's why they have it set up the way they do right now, called the grab bag, where you go and you click on it and you get thrown into any one of these games modes. Other than that, all I can really tell you guys is I'm excited for the 6th when this officially releases to the rest of the community. And for those who have early access, I know a lot of people are enjoying the content. Because everywhere I go in Morrowind, I always see people. I always run across players in even the most peculiar places. I'll run across 2 or 3 players. And there has been a lot of people playing through the Morrowind content already. In fact, Halls of Fabrication already got a world first within 2 hours after release. And within 4 hours after release, apparently there was a level 50 warden. So, hey. And that was as of early access, which is kind of scary because, you know, you would think that it may be a lot harder to get a character up to 50 by. But that's really my opinion of Morrowind. Is it's great. It's something that the game really needed. We needed a large area of content added to the game, and even though it's something that can be completed in a short amount of time, it's not really long. It's about the same length of Orsinium in time frame. In scale, it's like 2 Orsiniums put together. It is you know, pretty decent in size. I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was gonna be a lot bigger, but I was using my rose-tinted glasses here, and they were showing me you know, the classic Morrowind instead of what I was playing, and honestly, I just kind of felt out of place at first until I started to get an idea of my surroundings, and then everything started to fall into play, and it was fun. I played through all the content in Morrowind. I've faced every boss. I haven't defeated every boss, but I have faced every boss. I've played through all the delves and public dungeons, all the storylines with my warden. And on top of that, I have not done Halls of Fabrication yet. We've been waiting, or we've been wanting to, me and my group, but it's just a matter of finding other people who want to join in and do that. But on like I said, my opinion is it's good. It's something that was needed. Other than that, I'm not going to give too many spoilers, like I said, about the story. I'm not going to give spoilers about too much of anything else. But once this officially releases, I will be bringing out more videos showing content of Morrowind, showing public dungeons, showing the delves, showing the different stuff. The reason I'm not doing that until then is because I don't think it's really cool to do that when other people don't have access to it yet. So... but that's pretty much it. I mean, Morrowind's a really fun expansion or chapter. If you don't have it yet, my advice would be to possibly think about getting it, or wait for other reviews to come out. I mean, this is just an early review of it from me. It's nothing that's gonna, like I said, reveal too much. I don't want to do that, and we'll just leave it at that. So that's it for this Morrowind review of mine. I know I didn't go into a lot of detail on a lot of things, but like I said, too many spoilers can ruin a game. So I just thought I'd give you my thoughts and opinions of what I've done in it, you know, and kind of explain a little bit of the story, explain a little bit about the delves and the world bosses, and of course the halls of fabrication and everything. I didn't spoil anything, so that's good. So if you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you guys want to see more videos by me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Both would be greatly appreciated. Other than that, I want to thank you all for watching. Until next time, have a wonderful day, and I will see you all later. Bye.